Nobody likes being treated like a robot or a number in a ticket system. Everyone likes a more personal customer experience, especially when they're buying something important. So, how do you reconcile this with the needs of keeping things organized and managing a project and a team? Stick around, and I'll tell you in just a minute. This is Hassle Free Websites, and I'm your slightly overweight host, Justin Meadows. If you want to learn how to make selling websites easier and more profitable for your business, you're in the right place. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes. First, we're going to cover why use a support desk. When you're working as a team, a ticket system allows you to keep all of your communication in one place. It allows different members of the team to see and get involved in the conversation without the mess of CCing and forwarding or having regular meetings just to keep everybody in the loop. And with a support desk, it allows somebody else to step in and take over the project exactly where it left off if the original person is sick or has to go on leave. Even if you are a freelancer or a one-man band at this stage in your business, it's still much better to keep all of your project's communication in one thread because it makes it a lot easier to be able to look back over the discussion and check on things later on and make sure that nothing is missed. Plus, if you are planning to grow at some point, it makes it a lot easier to bring in another team member and have your clients already in the habit of communicating via that support desk. Otherwise, that step can get a bit trickier later on. Next, we're going to talk about how you make the support desk experience awesome. Firstly, you need to be real. Don't be a robot, because nobody likes to feel like they're doing business with a robot. Be friendly and relaxed with your communication. Don't use canned responses and don't use ticket numbers. One thing that can help is imagining that you're replying to one of your best friends. How would you reply to them? Might not be appropriate for a workplace environment. But anyway, you get the point. My hot tip is use Help Scout. We use Help Scout and it's fantastic because it creates a personal email experience from the customer's end while having a very simple ticket system at your end. It keeps things simple but organized, and the client doesn't feel like they're in a ticket. It allows you to merge several different emails from the clients all into one single thread. And while it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that some other support desks do, it has the basics and the important things that you need, and it forces you to keep things simple, which I think is important as well. Another solution that can make things really easy for you to manage the projects and the ongoing support of a website is to use a white labeled support desk. So what that means is that clients email support at your domain, and that comes through to our support desk. And then we can reply directly to that client and act as your support team. Of course, anything that requires your attention, we can simply notify you about and you see all the communication, but you can ignore all the nitty-gritty technical things that you don't need to be involved with. This allows you to focus on more important things, like managing your business and making sure there is a steady flow of work coming in. Now for some action tips. Moving clients onto a support desk email can be tricky, especially if they're used to emailing you directly. You can explain the benefits to them and why it's important for them to make the switch, but sometimes it's hard to break old habits. So one thing you can do is make sure you always reply to them from the support desk instead of from your personal email. You can do this by first forwarding their email to support, and then you can reply from there. But ideally, the best way is to get in there as early as possible in the project or in the relationship with the client and move them on to communicating via that support desk. This also has the benefit of having more context and more information in the thread of the project, going right back to perhaps the initial contact. Another great way to encourage people to move onto your support email is to make sure that they always get a quick response and a good experience when they do email you that way. So we make sure that every email is responded to within the hour, even if it is simply to acknowledge that we have received the email and will be getting back to them shortly. That's nicer than them receiving nothing at all, and it forces us to check every ticket, and so we can decide which one's the most urgent. Because it can be horrible as a client if you send an email to your developer and you don't hear from them for a day or several days sometimes. it can be a real turn-off and they'll start looking somewhere else really fast. Other tips I have for support emails is don't use auto replies, don't use out of office replies and that sort of thing. Just aim to get back to clients quickly and communicate with them in a personal, friendly manner like you would a personal email or having a conversation over the phone. So today we covered why having a support desk is important, how you can implement that for your business, and a few tips on how you can make that experience good for your customers. Stick around for the next episode because we're going to talk about positioning you as the expert. And in other news, reports say 7 out of 10 people living in Sydney are suffering from alcohol addiction. The other 3 are enjoying it. A local council has declared that jokes about unemployment are not funny. They simply don't work. And a woman has died from a wild pig attack. She was bored to death.